Hello and welcome back everybody to another TCG live pack opening. Today is going to be our 100 sub special. Today we are cracking open 24 packs, but we are starting off with 8 just so we can get our last pack best pack in. There are 2 Scarlet and Violet base set, 2 Paldea Evolved, 2 Obsidian Flames, and 2 151s, I believe, for our first part of this video. I'm going to be breaking it up into sections for me at least, but it'll be one big video for y'all. Starting things off, we have the Char Cadet in the Ruins, charging up a Fire Punch. My boy Toad's Cool, sprinting across the fields. Houndour, just outside of the Pokemon Center. Quaxley standing by the pond's edge in between all the blooming flowers. Rocky Helmet Trainer. A Vivillon getting blown back by a very strong breeze. Crocodile resting under the palm tree on the beach. Smoliv sitting on the cliff's edge. Cliffs in quotes, I should say. Ooh, they're very angry Mabostiff for our first reverse. Oh, that was our second apparently. And a nice King Gambit for our holo rare. Oh, Paldea Evolved time, I guess. I'm not really sure how these are all sorted out. Shinx running through the field at sunset. Tropius flying over the beach. Fuecoco making his way down the path. You know, I never noticed how his top 2 hairs there are pretty much like a light. That's fun. Relor showing off his balancing skills. Mabostiff coming down the stairs built into the hillside. Tinkatuff judging the fall from the cliff. Choice Belt Trainer. A Mimikyu running through the forest for our first reverse. Veluza coming from the depths up to the surface for our second reverse. And our rare of the pack is the Glamora, releasing spikes in all directions. Obsidian Flames time, I guess. Spoink springing up in front of the lighthouse at twilight. Electric in the water just outside of the cave. Rhyme on stage, ready to do some raps. A school of Dynamos swimming through the current. Ooh, a Linoon running through the city as they hop from the stairs. Flamigo jumping into the air on the beach in the cove. Old Man Gumshoes walking through the forest. Poltegeist for our first reverse as they come up out of their teapot. Our second would be Dartrix coming in for a landing in the forest for our second. And a nice Miraidon EX charging up one of its cannons for our rare. Okay, another Obsidian Flames, I guess. I promise I put 2 of each kind in here. Grievard running down the stairs in the house. Ooh, Tomokazu's Lechonk walking across I guess it's a path of some sort? A very colorful path. Next is a couple Capsicid chasing each other around. Snubble sitting on the small couch. Ooh, a wonderfully done Soul Rock as they float above, I don't know, those look like dead trees, I would say. Masquerain floating above the vegetation. Ninetales in the mountains. Once again, Snubble on the small couch for our first reverse. Second would be the Phantump in the tree stump, and our rare of the pack. A Greta Trainer Holo for our rare. So we're about halfway there, boys, halfway there. There's our 151. Doduo running through the rocky lands. Poliwhirl stretching out on the mural-covered wall. Shoulder sitting on the rock jutting out into the ocean while waves lap on the sides of it. Ooh, a nice throwback Zubat as they fly into the cave and unleash sonic waves as well. Victory Bell hanging off of a tree branch in the jungle. A Dugong unleashing quite a bit of ice underneath them. A wonderfully done Kingler by the coast. Execute traversing the beach at night for our first reverse, I believe. Second would be Arven's dad, Poliwrath, as he runs through the city in a rainstorm. And our rare of the pack, Marowak, sending quite a bit of rubble into the air as they smash it. Alright, back to base set once again. Toadstool running through the field. Sprigatito in the beautiful meadow. Cacnea resting up against the pumpkins in the garden. Palpad Trainer. Sanaconda in the desert as there's sand dripping onto their head and body. Toxicity coming out of the cave. Oh no, this is the Toxicity going through the freaking sewage system. So gross. Oinkoloring making their way through the meadow. Squawkabilly perched on the roof of a house. Shroomish unleashing a poison powder for our first reverse. Or our second, I guess. Cloth scaling the mountain easily for our hollow rare. Couple of packs to go. Back to 151. Jigglypuff sitting by the pond's edge looking at the beautiful rainbow. Pidgeot flying over the trees. Eevee making their way onto the path. Poliwhirl stretching out in front of the mural-covered wall. Tauros preparing to charge. Rigid Band Trainer. A very nice Doug trio out in the middle of a field under the harsh beating sunlight. Once again, Poliwhirl stretched out against the mural-covered wall for our first reverse, maybe? Yep. Ooh, a very nice Pikachu IR as they run across the street. I love how we get to see the Nidorina and Nidorino chasing each other on the balcony up there. The Growlithe with his trainer and the freaking Gengar over here in the bottom left-hand corner. Such a fun card. And our rare of the pack, a nice Hollow Machamp as he stands on top of the mountains training in the morning sunlight. Alrighty, it's come that time once again to find out is last pack best pack or not. If you want more details, there's a video linked below. That last pack makes it tricky with that IR, but we still have a chance. The female Combee flying over all the blooming flowers. I like how two of its faces are just happily flying along while the third one actually realized that something is ahead of them. Shinx running through the field at sunset. Pineco in front of the mysterious doors. I think that's in from Legend Arceus, if I'm not mistaken. Sandygast resting under the beach on the bench. Pelipper flying high over the coastal city. Spidops creating a web in the tree. Once again, Pelipper flying over the coastal city. Qfant running through the town for our first reverse, I believe. Second is the Oricorio in the beautiful tree. And our rare of the pack, a nice hollow Weavile in a snowstorm in the mountains. Which is unfortunately going to be another no for last pack best pack, boys. That's okay, we still got 2 more to go. Alrighty everybody, it's time to move on to the next 8 packs. We have 2 Lost Origin, 2 Crown Zenith, 2 Brilliant Stars, and I honestly can't remember the 4th one. But we're just going to go ahead and get into it. We have the figured ducklet in the puddle. Hisuian Basculin, the school of Hisuian Basculin floating around the shallows, well, semi-shallows. Pikachu with its Pecha Berry happily sitting on a stump. Inkay floating at the island's edge at night. Jinx unleashing their mysterious pink smoke. Ooh, another one of Tomokazu's works. It's a Gloom walking down the path. I love the design of all the flowers as well. Damage Pump Trainer. Thornton Trainer. Hisuian Slagoo in the marsh. For our only reverse. And a nice Greedent, napping after having munched many berries. Another Lost Origins. Ooh! A nice Arizu, Volart Trainer to start us off. Followed by the Lit Leo just struggling to get traction on the ice while Glowarian Mr. Mime just skates around easily. A nice figure Litwick or model Litwick in the grass. Seal coming up onto the ice. Gligar flying through the ravine. Roserade extending the thorny vines from their hands. A bomb of snow running through the snowy forest. Ambipom spinning around for a double hit. Thornton Trainer for our reverse. And our rare is a nice Porygon Z in the computer lab, more likely, as they become consumed by some electricity. Okay, there we go, some Crown Zenith packs to crack open. The flock of migrating Starly. Young Goose in the island clearing. Aron munching down on the abandoned wheel. Panchamp high in the trees while the breeze blows. Aron once again munching down on the abandoned wheel. Electric in the cave sending Zaps out into the water. Trekking Shoes Trainer. Pokemon Catcher Trainer. A nice Yanma landing on a tree branch for our reverse. And an Enamorous floating amongst all the blooming flowers for our rare. Another Crown Zenith pack. The Execute making their way across the very thin log. Sandalit in the wheat fields at night. Riolu walking down the path while the breeze blows. Energy Retrieval. Energy Search. Crushing Hammer Trainer. Energy Switch Trainer. Rescue Carrier Trainer. So many trainers back to back. We have the Graveler smashing a rock into bits with a left hand. And for our rare of the pack, ooh, the very nice Hollow Kyogre as they breach the waters only to dive back down. Oh yeah, that's right. I might have mentioned Silver Tempest earlier, but that's what we're moving on to now. Rufflet flying over the river, cutting through the city. Chimecho taking refuge under the cliffside from the rain that's coming. Murkrow taking flight from the top of the castle. Fungus in the jungle at sunrise. Pikachu, Dedenne, and Togedemaru all sending out some zaps together. Furisode Girl Trainer. A Serena Trainer as she prepares to leave her house. A Raichu as a freaking bolt of lightning zaps right next to him, but he just doesn't care.
Don't care.
Vulpix walking across the stone wall for our reverse. Ooh, a very nice Ho-Oh-V for our rare. Look at that glorious boy. I love the art style for this. Just so dynamic and so good looking. Okay, Brilliant Stars. A full art Roseanne's backup trainer. Impidimp peeking around the corner. Shinx playing with its tail as flower blooms fall around them for some reason. Buizel in like the resort lake town thing from Diamond and Pearl. Cherubi in the tree branch. Collapse Stadium Trainer. Weavile on the building's overhang at night. Torkoal pumping out a bunch of smoke. Starmie resting on the beach just having the waves lap upon them for our reverse. And our rare of the pack is a nice model Wormadam hanging from a tree. Couple of packs to go. Hawlucha in the tree. Murkrow taking flight from the castle. Baneri throwing the picked flowers into the air. The very scared Litten next to a vending machine. The model Baltoy perched on a rock. Anorith making their way across the sea bottom. Toxapex on the shore. Raichu not even caring about the lightning strike next to him.
Still don't care.
Ooh, a very nice full art Braxton Trainer with Serena as well. I think that she's giving her Braxton a hat that their ears can fit through. I love these full art trainers like this. They look so good. And our rare of the pack is a nice Regieleki V, unleashing quite a few zaps. Alrighty, it has come that time once again to find out is last pack best pack or not. It's going to be rough with what we've gotten today, or for this section I should say, but we'll see. Milcery in the park at autumn. Nosepass walking through the mesa at sunset. Clefairy on the cliff's edge, happily looking out. Trapinch bursting forth from the sand. Caroblast in their tree hollow home. Blunder Policy Trainer. Roseanne's backup trainer, this time the regular version. Choice Belt Trainer. A wonderfully done Swak as zaps go from one foot to the other. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And a nice Magmortar Electivire combo as they both go in for some punches. Which is unfortunately going to be another no for last pack, best pack. The Vs, the full arts, everything was better than this for the moment. Well, I'll be right back. Well, for you, I'll be right back. It'll be probably a little minute for me, but I'll see you for part 3 in just a sec. Alrighty boys, it's time for part 3, and I decided to do a nice little throwback to one of my favorite sets from the old eras. Sun and Moon Team Up. Such fun cards out of these. But if you see only 6 packs at the bottom, that's just because I had to do it via the exchange thing on TCG Live instead of my putting in the code. So we'll get to those other 2 packs in just a sec. Alright, let's get into it. Starting us off, we have the very nice Litten walking across the stone wall. Mankey walking through the forest as glowing bits float around them. Mankey with a glowing bits floating around him. Alolan Grimer sucking up all of the leaves into their mouth. Alolan Geodude near the lake in the mountains. Tentacruel deep under the sea. Water Memory Trainer. Nanu Trainer. Electro Charger Trainer for our reverse. And our rare of the pack is a very nice Lycanroc GX in the mountains at sunrise. The generic Meowth with the dots in the back. Ooh, the wonderfully done Weedle munching on a leaf. It's also a fun touch to see Slackoth hanging from the tree. A nice Charmander looking at the fireflies at sunset. Mareep dashing through the fields. Vulpix. Pupitar launching themselves up into the air. Pupitar launching themselves up into the air. Heliolisk in the beautiful meadow, sucking up some solar rays. Paris messing with the mushrooms for our first reverse. I think I've seen this in TCG Pocket recently. It's fun to see all the cards that are actually just reprints. And our rare of the pack is the Zangoose walking along the destroyed brick wall. A Mogla with the electric orb around them. Pharaoh Seed sleeping on the hillside. Weedle munching on the leaf. Pharaoh Seed sleeping on the hillside. Dratini having just dived into the water. Kangaskhan sitting in the forest with their baby. Ingo and Emmett Trainer. The Nidorino running around in the rocks. Weedle munching on the leaf for our reverse. I must say, I love these reverses. I love the big version of the grass, and then the smaller ones as well. Good stuff. And a dangerous drill trainer. A gold boy. God dang. That's some good stuff. Well, there goes last pack, best pack, I suppose. Volibee walking around the windy mountains. The figure or model Panchamp amongst all the small ferns. Dratini diving in the water. Litten on the brick wall. Klefki dropping their keys on the beach. Doublade climbing their way up the mountain. Jinx in the meadow, arms outstretched. Grass Memory Trainer. For our reverse, we have the nice Zapdos as clouds come in. And a very nice Blastoise unleashing a Hydro Pump under the water. Alrighty, I say we're about halfway there. Well, halfway there for part 3, I should say. Charmander being amazed by the big fire on their tail. The generic Meowth. Klefki dropping their keys. Cosmog high above the foggy forest. Pawniard leaping through the trees, ready to slash. Pokemon Communication Trainer. A Jasmine Trainer standing in her... I'm not really sure which gym that is. Torcat having found a box of berries in the back alley. The group of Alolan Marowak dancing in the light of the full moon. And our rare of the pack is a nice Alolan Muck, sliding their way across the beach. Psyduck splashing in the water. Ponyta running into the forest. Squirtle happily running across the field. Dratini with the very, very tiny, tiny little mouth. Ferroseed sleeping on the hillside. Water Memory Trainer. Pokemon Communication Trainer. A Donna Trainer, one of the Mansion girls from Gen 6. Alolan Geodude by the lake for our reverse. And a very nice Yveltal, an explosion going off behind them, it kind of looks like. They did a very nice job with the holo for this one. Just a couple packs to go. Ferroseed sleeping on the hillside. Weedle watching the leaves fall. Larvitar on the pattern background. Voltorb with some zaps behind him. Cosmog high above the forest. Spiritomb on the path in the dead forest. Buff Padding Trainer. Jasmine Trainer. An Ingo and Emmett Trainer for our reverse. And a nice Nidoqueen, unleashing quite a bit of energy as rocks fly all around her. Alrighty, it's come that time once again to find out if last pack, best pack or not. This one, we don't have at all a very good chance because of the gold trainer we saw. But we'll see if we can pull out that plus something really fancy in the reverse slot, maybe. Although I'm not even sure if fancy things can be in the reverse slot with this set. Dratini with the tiny mouth. Pidgey in the tall grass preparing to take flight. Paris touching the mushrooms. Klefki dropping their keys. Weedle watching the leaves fall. Metal Goggles Trainer. Tentacruel under the sea. Judge Whistle Trainer. A Cosmoem in the mountains for our rare, for our reverse, and the rare of the pack is the nice Muck. I love the design of the Muck as they pull themselves forward through the forest. Though that is going to be another no. I honestly can't remember what the results were for the other ones. At least the first one was a no. But that's going to be another no for last pack, best pack. Well, all in all, it's been a really good pack opening. I really appreciate having hit 100 subs. We're over that at this point. By the time I'm recording it, we're at 105. I'm not sure where we'll be at it by the time it's released, but thank you, truly. I've been wanting 100 subs for so long, and I'm really appreciative. And hopefully I get to make more of these specials in the future for maybe 500 or 1,000 even. But we'll see. Alrighty, as always, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you next time for a TCG Live or a Pocket or whatever the hell's going on. See you later, everyone.